know I cover up my fault lines with silly putty. Like the laugh's gonna make the bad shit turn to nothing, but that's rubber, I'm blue.
I am here once again to shit on this show and talk about how much I don't like it, even though I keep watching it. What is wrong with me? Am I a hypocrite? Yes. Yes, I am. Do I hate watch things? Yes. Yes, I do. Is it a problematic thing? Yes. I'm not gonna stop. Hi guys, it's Luna and welcome back to another video. Today's video is something that I do actually every time this happens. If you don't know, I used to be a fan of Rwby. Now I just hate watch it. And usually every time the first episode of the new season comes out and then the end of the season comes out, I make a video on it or I'm massively complaining about it to everyone I know. And we're back at it again today. So, warning for people who don't know me or know my content or know how I feel about this. This is gonna be a hater ass shit. It's mainly going to be me reviewing the things I hated about the first episode of this show. And no, I didn't pay for this. Someone else already had a first membership and I'm using their account to watch it. Hell no, I'm not paying to watch this show. That's stupid. I wouldn't do that. I'm not that much of a hater where I'm paying you to watch something I don't like. That's just not gonna happen. You ain't finna take me away from my coin. It's not gonna happen. I don't think so. So, let's jump into this review of Volume 8, Episode 1 of Rwby. I'm gonna be yelling. So, we first open the entire thing with my girl Cinder and I guess her flashback of life and her scrubbing floors. At first I thought it was that one lady from the inn with Crow and Raven, but I was like, oh no, that's Cinder. Oh no, I know that face anyway, that's Cinder. Apparently she used to scrub floors. It's a thing. Now, I'm not gonna lie, maybe most people think of that as, oh, we're gonna get Cinder's backstory. I'm looking at that as if, oh, they're fucking up Cinder's backstory. Here's why. I already told you guys this and most people who knew of my hate for the show. If Cinder doesn't have a damn good reason on why she's following a psychopath and doing what that psychopath says, other than my life sucks, I want power, bullshit, there has to be a damn good reason why you haven't shown her backstory by this point. With that scene, it scares me because it seems like it's just gonna be a, my life sucks, I was poor. I'm sure maybe they have something good for it, but I'm not hopeful. With Rooster Teeth's track record, a bitch is not hopeful. I really wanted to have something like how Emerald has, even though Emerald's attachment is kind of iffy at best, but I'd rather her have like an attachment to Salem because of certain things that happened in her past. But even then, she seems like she's not even totally loyal to Salem, so it's probably some bullshit. At least have her have like some form of tragic backstory that she warps her mind into thinking this, you know, but you know, we can only hope and see. So that was like, you're scaring me. And was it not weird to anyone else they use like the landing strip design for the whale? Like genuinely, why did you do that? Literally, why wasn't it just like a hole in the whale? It's like Sam was like, yeah, they're definitely coming on a ship. I'm gonna need like at least 4 of these bitches. Let's carve a design into the whale. It's weird. Why did that happen? They didn't even show us how they got in, what way they got in. That wasn't even important. I guess I wouldn't even have complained about that. Well, I'm critical and hypercritical, so yes, I would have. But it wouldn't have been like oh, this is a big complaint. Where the fuck is this going? I'm sure it would have just been implied I got in there somehow. It's a giant whale. And there's an upstairs to it, so it's not. But whatever, I guess she was expecting company, so. And you know, I actually did like the reaction of like Neil being like, the fuck is going on here? Because she's never seen the ship, nor she's seen Cinder like how she is, and nor she ever seen Salem. She's never seen any of this, so it's like, what y'all been doing? What was we getting into? Torturing never told me about none of this. I enjoyed that part of it. The part I didn't enjoy was, well, first of all, they talked about Watts as if he was dead, and I'm like, but in the intro, it made him seem like he wasn't dead. And pretty sure in the trailer, it also made him seem like he wasn't dead. They're talking about him as if he's dead, and I was under the assumption that he was dead, but apparently he's not dead. I don't fucking, like, it makes no sense. Why is Watts not dead? If Watts isn't dead, I'm gonna be mad, because why isn't he dead? Because someone shot some council members, but forgot that they're supervillains that plotted to kill people, and didn't think to shoot them because they're not stopping anybody, but the council members with no semblances nor aura apparently can totally stop you. Right. Even if you want to make the excuse, oh well, they can like platform him afterwards or whatever, but he only shot one. It's a whole thing. We'll get to the shooting part later. You know what I'm talking about if you watched it already. The second thing I didn't like about that whole thing, why does Emerald look so boxy? Like, they gave all the girl models Yang's build, and it makes them look just like boxy, because it's like, she wasn't like that before, and I get they grew up and they're different, but even last volume, or the volume before that, I remember Emerald looking a bit more thinner, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't just bulk up all of a sudden or just get fat, basically, because that's what it looks like. Her body doesn't match how it used to, and that was kind of her whole thing, was the girls had a bit more thinner frames, and her whole outfit just looks so weird. Like, she just looks awkward, you know what I mean? And maybe it's just like the design, or it's the clothes, or it just doesn't fit her, especially for her fighting style. It doesn't make any sense of why she looks like that. Honestly, they shouldn't have stayed with what they had, but I don't like her design that much. It's not super terrible, but it just makes her look weird somehow. I don't like it. I don't remember where I was at, but Cinder ain't gonna be sitting here disrespecting Emerald like that also. Well, I ain't forget about that, bitch. You ain't finna be sitting here disrespecting this girl. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the Emerald disrespect. I'm sick of it. Then after that, this is the part where I'm like, okay, this is stupid. This is actually really dumb. Why did Salem not come in wreck ship? Explain to me why she didn't come in wreck ship. Explain to me, because I'm lost. She could have easily attacked Mantle, right? Got Oscar, Rwby, and whoever else she needed, and found a way to get them to confess of how to use the relic, but she's now trying to bide her time and do extra shit. On top of that, she has Grimm that she can see through, so she could spy on them. You're telling me it's been years, you have all of these tools, and you just never knew how to activate every single relic by this point? Like, it's crazy. I don't believe that. She knew who and where Ozpin was. She knew so much stuff, but you know what? Whatever. There's maybe some reasoning behind it that I'm just not seeing, but whatever. But her whole thing with Cinder and talking to Cinder like, it's my fight to win. Bitch, why am I here then? Shut up. Like, I get this supposed to be an evil villain, but she sounds like a dumbass. Either explain to them what you're saying, or don't do some vague villain-esque shit. Like, I hate that. You're really gonna bide your time and give the people the time to retaliate and think of a plan, and instead of attacking them. And like, it's not like they have the upper hand. You literally have made them to the lowest point they could be, right? You've done all you can. At this point, they're scattered, they're confused, and they have way too many priorities on their hand. This is the time to attack, but apparently, nah, give them some days. It feels like she came in here without a plan. Maybe there's some plan that I'm not seeing, but I don't trust this. And now we go to the scene with baby boy Oscar. This part pissed me off because how did Oscar get there? How did you find him? If you found him, you should have already seen what happened to the rest of Mantle and how many people are suffering. At that point, you should have already made your plan. That means the whole plan scene that happens after this wouldn't have happened. You can't just find him out of nowhere. Whether the merry men helped you go find him or not, it makes no sense of the following things that happen. But whatever. They should have really not been able to find him. Plus, wasn't he all pumped up and ready to help fight at the end of Volume 7? But all of a sudden he's just like, nah, I'm gonna be in the slums, depressed. What? Why weren't you out there looking for your friends? Mainly you have Ozpin back, and you have a power that you can use now, and someone to explain it to you. Why aren't you doing something, Oscar? Don't be Jean, please. But whatever, because they found him because of reasons. Also, I like how they found him, and Blake just throughout this entire episode didn't say not two words about the faunus, the sad, hungry, cold faunus that are down there risking their lives. She just didn't speak up. All her bullshit in the previous volumes of faunus rights and you need to be equal and helping us. Hell, she didn't even do that in the last volume either. She saw the faunus looking scratched up. She knew what it was and not a word about it. Hell, it seems like Nora has been in Blake's position this entire time, fighting for the actual people. Blake's just like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm Yang's girlfriend, so I don't really have a part to play anymore. Meh. And it's like, oh my god, whatever. This is why, again, they have characters, they'll set up moments for those characters and then forget about them as soon as they're not being used anymore. And it's like, no, that change in that character stays in that character. They're people. They are not pawns to be used when you feel like it, Rooster Teeth. They are people. People have similar feelings throughout life. Also, they're still fugitives. Why wasn't Oscar hiding? Why was it so easy to find him? It makes no sense. Again, why aren't you hiding? I would have been hiding and trying to find some way to communicate with them, but also hiding because they're Atlas soldiers that want to capture me. We have warrants out for our arrest. Why didn't Oscar also tell them that Ironwood shot him? The conversation didn't need to be said. A lot of stuff could have been withheld, but to tell them, hey guys, just warning you, Ironwood shot me. He's lost his ever-loving mind. We should probably be careful of him because he's crazy now. And Oscar's just like, no, I won't tell them that part. I won't tell them anything. I can understand the rest of that, but you should probably tell them that Ironwood shot you. That's kind of important. It's actually really important, actually. Like, it's important. Like, important. But on top of that, they don't know where Crow is. I can kind of get it, but also, I don't know. I just feel like they should know that Crow is in jail. You should be able to get into the Atlas security system at this point with fucking the old guy. I think you could see through the cameras that he's maybe in jail or in captivity somewhere. But maybe there's some story behind that. That's the reason. I don't know anymore. This is a great example of their terrible writing. What was that comment from Weiss?
We're never going to sleep again. I just know it.
Somebody tell me. People are dying. They are starving. The world's about to end. There's a bitch up in the sky that's ready to kill us at any point. And you want to make a comment right now. A smart aleck remark about how you're never going to sleep again. That's appropriate for the situation. Weiss is that unaware of what's happening and the risk at stake and the mood of the room that she would say something like, y'all just don't know how to write at all, huh? This isn't the time for this. Everybody's quiet and silent and they've been that way for a while for a reason. This isn't the time for your weird remark. And I think Weiss as a character would know that. But whatever. Apparently she wouldn't. The whole fight with Rwby and Yang. First of all, don't act like Blake wasn't against what you were saying as well. She's just not talking anymore. Don't act like, because you didn't say shit to her. But because she's your girlfriend, it's fine, it's whatever. Honestly, because if somebody's fighting with you and someone disagreeing with you, you can't just disagree with the one person in the room. You kind of have to disagree with everybody else. That's kind of how conversations work. But let's let that go because that's a petty little thing there. And this totally could have been a Blake-Yang relationship moment, but again, they're terrible writers. You see, what actually would make sense is for Blake to be the one arguing with Rwby right now, because she would want to protect the people, just like Ren, apparently. Ren didn't even really make sense trying to be like, let's protect the people now. The entire time he was against that very much and saying that we need to go do the greater good, which is more like Ironwood's plan, but it would make more sense of him going with Rwby to get the word out there, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But Blake's been free and fire her entire life. The fact that she just sat there and did nothing just shows how weak they started to make her character. She stood up to Adam, but then they're just like, that's it apparently. Yang having to struggle between going with her sister and her girlfriend would have actually been some character building, and her going with her sister actually would have made the relationship a bit more realistic and not just, oh, we want to be couple goals. But of course they're not going to do that because that makes too much sense. That actually adds a layer to their character, and they don't want that. They want Blake to be nothing but a puppy that follows around Yang when it's convenient. To be honest with you, the whole thing with the characters acting the way they do doesn't entirely make sense. So you wouldn't think that those characters would do that because of the actions they've been doing so far. But again, that's more of like a straight up my opinion type thing, except for the Blake thing. But the rest of it's a my opinion type thing, so it can be what it is. Take this with a grain of salt. That could just be a bullshit claim on my part. What really bothers me about this conversation is how many times in this series, in the last 3 volumes, have these girls split up? How many times? A bunch? Many? They literally split up into teams last volume. Jean's team and Rwby and them's team. Why isn't that what it is now? I don't understand. If there's a way to get the message out to Atlas, take those people and send them there. If there's a way also to help the Happy Huntresses, take those people and put them there. What is this argument? Why are they having this argument? Why was this argument had hella long ago. And remember when I was talking about them not using characters and then just throwing them away when they were done? You know what a prime example is? Who remembers Maria in this scene? No one? Where was she? She was in the scene, by the way. She was there. But the train huntress who's been through a bunch of shit, hell, several wars, maybe not fighting in them, but she's been through this stuff. The one with the most information, the one that knows the most information about the Grimm, how to do certain things, information that these kids don't know, and also the guy in the chair that literally knows this place inside and out. It's weird how they're so quiet when we're all about to die. Why are they quiet right now? Maria doesn't have to go with them, but Maria should be telling them, hey, you know, you guys should go here. Here are the strengths. If you're going to do this, we should do this. Think about this. We should calm down. We should do something. The leadership from the adults, it's like Crow is the only adult that was a leader in that group. And it's like, no, those other adults exist. And I don't think they want to die as much as anybody else. I don't think they're ready to roll over and die either. But apparently they are, because they're barely talking, or they're just giving these like weak ass, it's just weird and dumb. I don't know. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Maria is just a fucking rideshare at this point. Like, I don't understand why she's not doing more. First of all, again, you're a huntress, a trained huntress. You don't know how to do, and I get that. It's like, well, she hasn't fight for a long time, so that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean her education, what she's been through, is just like knowledge that just leaves her. Hell, with the man who helped make and produce the security system in Atlas, he's just not there. It seems like he can't do anything. And it's like, I feel like he could do way more, especially with as much as Watts could do and him building Penny. It's weird that he can't do more in the sense of security or hacking into things or anything like that to do with technology. It's kind of weird, is it not? Again, this is just petty type stuff at this point, but it's weird. It's weird. The call with Penny was also very weird. I feel like he should have called Penny immediately. It's weird that he's just now calling her now. Whether it's been hours later or days later, it's still really weird. Why is Ironwood just now calling Penny to ask about where she is and where she needs to be and all that type of shit? You've had her number this entire time. Not one person had called her. You knew that she was with Rwby and whatnot. Again, not one person called her. You didn't go look for her at all. It was just like, okay, all right, whatever. But the call happened. And the whole Winter thing, again, Winter just seems really stupid. She's not even using common sense at this point. At this point, she's like, well, I'm just following orders. I'm just doing it. And it's like, yeah, that'd be fine for someone who has something, or rather nothing, to lose in the situation, but you're also thinking about the well-being of your family, your siblings. Like, she can't just be cut off from all of her emotions. Obviously she's not, but she's not even considering any of that stuff. She's just like, well, I'm following orders like a military drone. And it's like, again, give her a little bit more credit in her character than just I'm following orders. Even though she's picked a different path from her sister, that's fine. But to act like she has no emotions whatsoever and has no connection, well, honestly, she only has connection when you feel like it's convenient for the plot. It's just kind of insulting to her character. So seeing her stay in the hospital bed, I understand and whatnot, but family. Your mom, your dad, the other people that aren't in Atlas. Well, maybe not your dad because he's an asshole, but the rest of your family and your family's team and those people that are, dying, question him about what they're going to do about that. It's just weird, Like, she just almost doesn't bring it up. And I feel like that's one of the first questions she would ask, but I don't know. Especially in a situation like this, these things are important. Especially when he's putting trust into her, or that's what he's claiming, then again, these things are important. And then it's the whole thing with him shooting the guy. First of all, you shot one of them, not the other. Second of all, you didn't need to shoot any of them. You could have just arrested them. You're acting like you needed to shoot them. At this point, you have the law in your hands. You have everybody in your hands. There was literally no reason for him to shoot them. I get that's supposed to be a dramatic thing, but it's not. There was no reason. What was the reason? To show that he lost his mind? We all kind of know that by now. His actions are getting questioned by almost everyone around him, or they should. So there's no reason that he needs to shoot the person to be like, he's extra crazy now. Like, they're literally, oh my god, that whole scene made me so mad. Because I'm just like, that was a bad move because it just didn't make any sense. Why didn't you shoot the other one? Is she going to jail now? And if she goes to jail, what is your point? What was the end goal of that? Well, that didn't even make common sense. Whatever. It made no sense. I don't like that. I want to be dramatic so we can have some drama. I don't like that. Not surely. And then we end on Salem asking her Grimm to go find Oscar, we're assuming, or Ozpin. And again, it's like, why didn't you do this before? Like, it seems like they just write stuff in the room and just like, I'm gonna throw this at the wall and see if it sticks. And realistically, it's like, no, you have to actually ask yourself questions, or ask yourself why the character would even do something like that. Why is she just now, after hours or minutes or whatever has passed by, immediately, as soon as she got there, why didn't she immediately go get Oscar and then go try to find the relic? Why didn't she do that? I'm confused. If she knew Cinder already had the relic, then why didn't she go bin found Oscar? If he wasn't in Atlas, then she would be like, okay, I know where he is. We can go find him now. Because she didn't even have anybody looking for him, apparently we have no idea where he was. And it's this weird thing, which I don't understand. She can control her Grimm, right? Can they report back to her? That's the question that has been bothering me for seasons. Can they report back to her? Because if that's the case, why haven't the Grimm been reported back to her? Because there are several moments where they have come in contact with Grimm and she should know a lot, or she should have the Grimm coming back to her, and like it just doesn't make any sense. How does that work? How does her power work? And nobody's gonna question it because reasons, but like it just don't make a lot of sense. It's irritating, man. But anyways, that was the last of it. This whole episode was just filled with fucking flaws and bullshit that I know is never going to be explained. And I keep saying that because I always make these types... Oh, yes. I am doing something. What do you want? Anyways, that's the end of this first episode. There's so many polls that I didn't talk about because I thought they would be petty, but honestly they're genuine questions. There's so many things I didn't point out. I don't make a lick of sense. I've been kind of just bothering me for seasons and seasons, and it's just like I'm being a dead horse at this point. There are characters that obviously have fallen flat. There are characters that had sparks don't have sparks anymore. Characters that used to speak up don't speak up anymore. Fights that happened that made no sense. It's just a whole clusterfuck of, this is irritating. And it scares me for where this season is going down. Now, if you're someone who watches shit like this and doesn't like to critique it and just wants to feel what you feel, I'm sure this was a dramatic, awesome first episode for you. For someone who critiques things for a living, it feels like that's what I do. And I just tear shit apart. And a lot of it was petty and some of it was genuine questions that have been building up for seasons. It's just a whole thing for me. I probably won't cover this again until the end of the series, where I will be tearing it apart and bringing up more questions and bullshit that has been shown, because Rooster Teeth has a track record of fucking this type of shit up. And if you have questions or things I pointed out that you don't agree with, or things I pointed out that you do agree with, or things I didn't point out that you want to tell me, leave it in the comments below. I appreciate all of it. I know people aren't gonna like this. That's fine. This is just me shitting on a show. It's what it is. But I'll see you guys later. BB.
Everything is falling down. Everything is falling down. Everything is falling down.
The sky is falling. Everybody's trying to grab the cloud.